What's up, man? Like, share, and subscribe. This is the Rick Ross Port of Miami 2 review. It ain't gonna be too long. I mean, let's just get into it now. I was saying weeks ago, I was like, yo, Rick Ross got y'all niggas waiting on this album like it's fucking Christmas. He better not disappoint. So, I don't think he did. I can't speak for diehard fans. I'm not a diehard fan. I thought the album was cool for what it was. It was the typical Rick Ross type of album. Good beats, some samples, some cool lyrics, some cool hooks. Something to ride to. I think niggas is tripping. I don't think it's the album of the year. I still don't think it's better than that Freddie Gibbs bandana shit. But that's just me. But when you look up this album, instead of saying Rick Ross, it should say Rick Ross and various artists. Because it's a shitload of features. You know what I mean? You got Wale, Gunplay, Summer Walker, Dej Loaf, Swiss Beats, Meek Mill, Nipsey Hussle, Tiana Taylor, Young Jeezy, YFN Lucci, Ball Grizzy, A Boogie, Denzel Curry, Drake. This isn't a Rick Ross album. This is a compilation. This is a community album. You know what I mean? That's the only knock I've had on Rick Ross his whole career. Too many fucking features. And I'm like, if he's so special and y'all are putting him up there with Big and Pac and Nas and Scarface, they didn't overuse the feature. If you're gonna, this is use Biggie as example. Biggie had one feature on his first album. Ross, and I started noticing this pattern with him years ago when he did the Teflon Don album. It was 10 tracks and it had like 9 tracks with features out of 10. I just like, usually when rappers have to resort to a lot of features, there's a meaning behind it. Like, I'll take an artist like Fat Joe. He always just struggled to make hooks and choruses, so he would use the feature. Jadakiss would do it. But Ross, I don't understand why he feels the need to use features, because he can make good hooks and good songs and shit like that. But he relies on features way too fucking much to me. I mean, I don't get it, because he's got the total package and everything, but he just uses way too many features. I don't know if he does it to try to ride the momentum of whoever's hot. I mean, you got Gold Roses on here with Drake. It's a dope record, but mind you, him and Drake already got a song in rotation, Money in the Grave. So, did he really need to do another collaboration with Drake as many times as they've done joints together? I don't think so, but it's a cool joint. But the joints on here that, it just, and just to stick to the features, like I said, it used to mean something when rappers got on a joint and collaborated, because it wasn't something that was often. Like, you never heard Big and Nas on a track together. It almost happened, according to Nas, if you watch his Drink Champs interview, but Biggie just couldn't get to the studio. But it was just, when it happened, it meant something. Like Craig Mack, Flavor in Your Ear, the original, it was just him. And it was already hard. But then when you added Big, LL, Buster, it just was iconic. It meant something when niggas got together back then, because it wasn't something that was just done on the regular. I think, and I'm all for peace and unity, but I think these niggas now collaborate way too fucking much, to a point where the feature has lost its prestige in hip hop. There's too many collaborations, and too many. These niggas rely on the other man to get hot or to stay afloat way too much now. I think they went overboard with the features to a point where it don't even mean nothing no more. And that's kind of sad, because features and remix used to really be special. And they've just watered it down to a point where it don't even mean shit no more. But this album was cool. I mean, the joints on here that I thought was dope. Act a Fool with Wale was cool. Turnpike Ike is dope. Big Time with Swiss Beats, that was fire. Bogus Charms with Meek. Rich Nigga Lifestyle was probably one of my favorites. That got Nipsey and Tiana Taylor on it. That bumps. The joint with Jeezy was cool. Fascinated. That's one of the few records on here where Ross is just by himself. Fascinated. He got a joint called I Still Pray. It was kind of like sentimental. It was talking about him having his issues with his seizure and almost, but he had a heart attack and all of that. But the record was, Vegas, Residency was cool. Maybach Music 4 was cool. Gold Roses. Like I said, it's a cool album. It's just, my only knock on Ross all this time is, like I said, it's just way too many fucking features, man. But, get it on Apple Music or however you listen to your shit, free, Spotify, whatever. But those are the joints that really stuck out to me. Act a Fool, Turnpike Ike, Big Time with Swiss Beats, Bogus Charms with Meek Mill, Rich Nigga Lifestyle. Those are the joints you go home and write about. Gold Roses with Drake is cool, but I like Money in the Grave better. But that's just my opinion, man. Like I say, I'm not gonna hold you, Chief, and I'm not gonna tell you what to like. Listen to it on yourself, you know. And I give it 3 out of 5. I give it 3 out of 5. Yeah. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, "Oh, this shit was trash." This shit was cool. You know, I only heard it once so far. Maybe it'll grow on me. How much replay value does it have? Maybe a couple weeks, and that's no diss. That's just how fast music is nowadays. The average album got a week or two, and then you move on to the next thing because you're trying to keep up with everything. But that's Port of Miami too. I just think he made niggas wait a long time for this shit. I mean, niggas is going back to school now, and he been talking about this album since what, spring? So you know, if you're gonna make people wait a long time, you better give them worth the wait. And you know, I think for what it was, it's cool. I just, if I was a diehard fan and I had to wait as long as his diehard fans waited, I probably would have been a little bit disappointed. But it was cool. So like, share, subscribe. You know, some of you hating motherfuckers gonna dislike. I don't give a fuck. But check it out, man.